So let's get straight to the point, because now we actually know the exact release date of the next Dead Rails update. It's coming November the 23rd, or November 22nd. For some of you, depending on your time zone. Either way, that means we're officially less than a week and a half away. And the best part? We already have leaks. Yep, leaks are out, and honestly, they're looking really promising. The first thing that dropped, and I know a lot of you have seen it already, is the new riflery model. And I've got to say, it looks amazing. Even though the dev mentioned it's not the final version and that this is just an early mock-up, the quality already looks top tier. The textures, the shape, the detail, you can tell it's being redone with care. If this is what the unfinished version looks like, the final one's going to be beautiful. So yeah, definitely hyped for that. Now, since we're already seeing weaponry models, I think we can safely expect more of them soon. Probably for zombie models, werewolves, and maybe even new variants of bosses or trains. It really feels like they're slowly rebuilding the entire game, piece by piece, and that's honestly exciting to see. But you guys know me, I don't just talk about what's confirmed. I love going through the community's best concepts. Those ideas that start in the suggestions tab and somehow end up inspiring the devs later. Because that's exactly where most of the best updates come from. So today we're going to check out a few of the most interesting and popular fan ideas that actually have a solid chance of showing up in future updates. But before we start, I just want to ask one quick thing. If you enjoy these videos, please hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps me right now, especially since I'm getting back into my upload rhythm. It's the best motivation to keep pushing these videos out for you guys. Alright, let's start. Let's begin with what you probably saw in the thumbnail, the Iron Werewolf. Now, this idea instantly caught my attention because it fits perfectly with the world of Dead Rails, but it still feels fresh. Imagine the same terrifying werewolf we already have, in-game. But instead of raw fur and muscle, it's completely covered in handmade armor. Rough, uneven metal plates bolted together from scraps of cars, broken machinery, and whatever pieces of steel it could find. It looks like something straight out of a post-apocalyptic nightmare. The armor isn't shiny or clean. It's full of dents, scratches, and patches of rust. When this thing moves, you can actually hear the metal grind and clank. Every step leaves behind sparks, and its glowing red eyes cut through the fog. The Iron Werewolf is much tougher than the normal one. About twice as strong, and takes a lot longer to bring down. But it's not invincible. There's a clever way to deal with it. If you throw fireworks at it, there's a small chance the explosions can knock some of the armor off, exposing weak spots and making it easier to kill. It's the kind of enemy that completely changes the energy of a fight. Not just another boss, but a moment that makes you stop and go, "Oh, this is different." It's rare too. You won't see it often, but when it spawns, you'll know immediately from the metallic footsteps and the echo of those sounds in the fog. It feels alive. Like the monsters themselves are learning to survive in this harsh world. That's the kind of atmosphere Dead Rails does best. Now, let's move from something brutal to something fiery. The Lava Train. This one is just pure chaos in the best possible way. It would be priced around 320 bonds, but the moment you see it, you'll know it's worth every bit of it. The Lava Train isn't just a visual upgrade, it actually changes gameplay. When you're using it, you gain complete immunity to heat and magma, meaning you won't take any damage from the extreme temperatures. But enemies around you, they're not so lucky. The closer they get to your train, the more they start to burn. Kind of like the same fire effect from the old Hell Horse, if you remember that one. Imagine driving across the desert at night with this train, and as you pass through, the world literally lights up behind you. It's such a cool visual, the idea of a train made from dark molten metal with cracks glowing orange and red, as if the whole thing is alive. And gameplay-wise, it's actually efficient too. Because it runs on heat, it consumes less fuel than normal trains, so you travel further on less. It's fast, stylish, and it literally turns your path into fire. In a world filled with cold fog, broken cities, and endless sand, seeing a train that glows like a furnace just feels right. Now, of course, we can't talk about great ideas without mentioning Elysium, a legend in the Dead Rails community at this point. If you've been following the series for a while, you already know this guy. He's the mastermind behind some of the most creative concepts that actually make sense for the game. And his new one is no exception, and it's called Houston Escape. This game mode would be completely different from what we've seen before. Instead of endless rails, you're placed right in the middle of a destroyed city, Houston, after the plague. The story goes that you're one of the last survivors, and you just got word that a train full of evacuees is on its way to rescue whoever's still alive. Your goal is simple but intense. Make it through the city and reach the train before it's too late. The city itself would be huge and chaotic. Buildings half collapsed, fires burning, zombies filling the streets. You'd be able to loot houses for weapons, ammo, and bonds. Along the way, you might find a survivor camp, a small safe zone hidden in an alley where you can restock and trade with other survivors. There'd also be military camps, full of fallen soldiers and zombie troops where you could scavenge bandages, snake oil, and firearms. The final destination is the train station outside the city. Once you get there, you have to hold your ground for 5 minutes while waves of zombies attack. And then, just as things start to get desperate, you hear the whistle. The rescue train arrives, the doors open, and if you make it inside, you win. It's a cinematic, survival-driven mode that could easily become one of the most fun events in the game. And since we're already getting closer to the end of the year, it's only fair to bring up the next idea: a potential Christmas game mode. This one comes from another community suggester, and it honestly sounds perfect for December. The main idea here is simple: bring winter into dead rails. Imagine snow slowly falling over the desert, covering the rails in white, and every once in a while, hail starts hitting the ground. It's not just for looks either. Hail would actually deal small amounts of damage to players, forcing you to move carefully. Trains would also handle differently on frozen tracks. Braking would take longer, and the risk of sliding or losing control would add tension. But the real twist is the cold itself. If you're not near a heat generator or inside a warm structure, your character would start to slow down, unable to sprint, and your attack damage would drop slightly. It's a survival element that adds just the right amount of realism. You'd also be able to collect snow and ice into special crystal bottles, which could later be used for crafting or sold for rare items. And of course, winning in this mode would grant you an exclusive achievement and extra rewards, around 25 bonus points per victory. It's the kind of limited time event that would completely change the vibe of the game for a while. The snowy atmosphere, the glowing lights, maybe even Christmas-themed trains or zombies wearing frozen armor. It's festive, eerie, and totally dead rails. So yeah, that's everything we've got for now, and honestly, with the update officially confirmed for November 23rd, things are looking more exciting than ever. Thanks for watching, thanks for your patience, and I'll see you all right after the update, when we finally get to experience everything for ourselves.